Talk to Joe on 1850 715 815.
Back to Laura and the homeless situation she finds herself in because her husband took some work and they lost their rent allowance. Liam is there, David is there. Liam, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you going?
What's your situation, Liam?
Just crazy. I seriously can't get over the fact that in this day and age people are being made live like this. I've worked all of my life really hard for my whole career. I've worked for chefs in London like Marco Pierre White, so on like this. I come back to Ireland a couple of years ago after losing a brother. My parents were getting on. I wanted to stay around, to be close to home, so I came back. Nice bit of money saved, over the years of hard work. Bought myself a nice car, got myself a nice place to live, so on like that. All of us in a whole new story with this, another story with this NERA crowd that comes into the catering organisation and just totally with the ridiculous rules. We all lost our jobs, and I haven't been able to find one since. Now, I hated going on the dole, so I kept my savings going as long as I could. And took a bit of work out in Hong Kong there last September. I cooked for AC/DC there on the European tour, stuff like that. Came back to Ireland, nothing since. So I applied for the dole rent allowance. I'm still waiting on the rent allowance since last November. Now, I've nothing left. The savings are gone to the point where I've sold my car, I've sold my TV, my electricity is about to be cut off. I have no food in my fridge. I literally can't eat. I'm losing weight dramatically. None of my clothes fit me anymore. And there's no help. Now, I don't want anything extra, just a roof over my head. But they keep telling me, oh, we don't have an application for you now. It's the most recent thing I've heard. So I have to reapply all over again. Now, only for my landlord, who, God bless the man, he's allowing me to stay. But if it wasn't for him, Joe, I'd be homeless with nowhere to go.
And do you have any income, Liam, from the state or otherwise?
I'm getting the dole, but at the end of the day, over the Christmas there, the ESB bill I got was upwards of nearly €800. This is me living on my own, just with heating, and I barely turn stuff on. And I'm trying to pay that back, and because of that, and all the different things you'd have going, and you're trying to pay that, €197 a week, it's just impossible. And I'm trying to give the landlord then what I can give him when I can give him, And what do you do? At what point do you have to give up at some point, and it's just so hard to keep going when everything is falling to pieces around you, and the people that are supposed to be there to help you do nothing.
And will the ESB cut you off? Because I know the bills, by the way, are very high, and the ESB argument is they could have them much lower, but they're obliged. The government has forced them basically to keep the regulator, which is the government official, has forced them to keep the prices high, so that will encourage and allow competition. So it's a most bizarre situation. But anyway, will the ESB cut you off?
They've told me yes, they will. My phone has been cut off. The mobile I have, the only communication I have with the outside world, because I'm literally with no car now. I'm in a small town with no transport, no way of going anywhere. I have to literally walk to the dole office to sign on because there is no transport between Monasterevin and Port Arlington. I've missed it once and they've cut me off. And I'm explaining to the lady, how do I get here? I haven't got enough food to eat inside in my home. And I'm literally, I just don't have the strength I used to. I'm a 36-year-old man who's dying to work, who's always worked. Yet I have to walk, 11 miles, 12 miles just to sign on because there's no public transport. These people need to sit back and they need to look at the situation that they have everybody in. Stop looking at themselves and their big pensions, their cars, this, that and the other, and look at the ground level and look at the way people are being forced to live. The very simple situation to resolve that is change the dole office, the signing office from Monasterevin to Newbridge, where a bus leaves to go there every hour. Why not do that?
Simple things like that, okay.
Pure simple.
And did they say they lost your rent allowance claim?
Joe, they've lost the claim. They've done this, that and the other. It's not on the computer. I go down to the community welfare officer here in Monasterevin, who is a lovely man, but he looks at me, and the man is looking at me, and he's in desperation himself, saying, I'm hearing so many stories from people, and there's nothing I can do because they've centralised it all. You try to ring the number to centralise, and you can't get through to anybody. Weeks you're trying to ring it, you can't get through. And this is the people who are supposed to be dealing with the claim. Stay
there for a second.
No problem.
David is in Watford. David.
Hello, Joe.
You're living in a hostel?
No,
it's about the issue.
The point I was making, Joe, is that the lack of incentive for people to take up short-term employment out there.
Yeah.
I was in a situation about 12 months ago where I came out of a job. I was working about 11 years full-time employment. I was made redundant. I was out of work. My wife was working 3 days a week. So we were looking for assistance with our mortgage. And it was very, basically we just found we're meeting just blank faces every time, and you're getting sent to somebody else. They just keep passing the buck, really, you know. Fortunately, Joe, I'm back in employment now.
Great.
But basically, I was told if I was offered 4 weeks work, if I took that 4 weeks work, everything that we had applied for, basically we'd be back to the start, reapply, fill in all the forms all over again, to just to go back for 4 weeks work, Joe. You know what I mean? I mean, you have to, people want to work.
So you're saying you were offered 4 weeks? I thought you said you got to hopefully
at the moment, I'm back.
You got 4 weeks, but they told you take that, you lose.
Exactly, Joe, exactly. I mean, there has to be an incentive. People want to work, but if it's a case that people are only offered short-term work and they're going to lose all their benefits over it, they're not going to do it, you know. I mean, there has to be an incentive for people to take. The employers out there need people, seasonal employees, you know what I mean. But if people are going to lose all their benefits or things, they're waiting for time to pass before they're entitled to rent allowance or mortgage help or whatever. I mean, they want to take the work, but they're not going to take it,
And Liam, in your situation, thanks, David. In your situation, Liam, was there any? You mentioned your parents.
Yes, my parents are pensioners. Dad's lost so much money. He worked with DSB all of his life. He's lost so much money, and they're struggling now too. Okay. And at my age, they've helped me out. They paid €200 off DSB there for me a couple of weeks ago. But that's €200 that they're short now. Yeah. €200 out of their pockets when they don't have.
And what was that like for you to have to accept the €200?
Heart-wrenching. I'll go down and my mum is putting food in my fridge at 36 years of age when I should be buying them the nice little holidays and stuff like that. Because of a career that I've studied and worked very hard for, to get to the position where, you know, I could look after myself, look after my family and so on like that. Yet, there's nothing. There's nothing coming back. I'm on stamps. I'm not on the actual dole. I'm on the stamps. Yeah. Why am I being left waiting on something that I'm entitled to? And now, Joe, the whole thing about it is they're telling me that they're not going to back pay it the full amount. You know, now I've paid the landlord money out of my own pocket from selling my car, from selling my television, things like this, just to keep it going. I'll never see any of that back.
Because I'm asking about your family, because I mentioned, and you've given the answer, but I see a call there saying, when I was talking to Laura, why didn't I ask her about her own family? Her parents, I did mention about the fact that her mother died when she was 52. The reason I didn't ask her was because I knew the answer. The answer was that Laura's own family home is owned by her father, which is, and I'm sure he's making a new life for himself. So Laura didn't get the house, just to clarify that for people. So it really is this trap. How are you going to keep going, Liam?
I can't. I'm on my last legs now. I'm not taking phone calls anymore from anybody because people are ringing me looking, DSB, can we get some money off you? So what do I do, Joe? I get €197. How do I live off the rest? I have a little girl over in England that's 11 years of age that I'm trying to help support as well. How do I do these things? How do I not... I don't drink, Joe. I don't go out. You know, I just don't go out. My girlfriend works, but even working with the cutback, she's had the money she makes doesn't make enough. Now, we don't live together, but it doesn't make enough for her to survive, to the point where she's living at home now with her parents and her young son.
And even with your great skills, the chefing skills and the cookery skills, Laura, by the way, was in the same business, the hotel business, the catering business. It's still nothing there at the minute.
Well, Joe, can I just say, while I'm on the radio now, if there's anyone out there, anyone from a pub up to a Michelin star restaurant that needs a chef, I will wash dishes. I will go anywhere in the country, and I will take any job. It doesn't matter. I will go out and I will sweep the streets tomorrow morning. Anything. If anybody has anything, if maybe I could leave my contact details with yourself.
Yeah, we'll do that afterwards, yeah. Sure.
I will do anything. I don't care what it is. If somebody gives me an honest day's work, I'll be more than happy. I don't want to depend on the state, because you can't depend on the state. It is that simple.
Well, your compatriot down the road there in Board, our Taoiseach, Brian Cowan, said yesterday the economy was turning. He said over the last few days, so hopefully that will happen for you and so many others. Okay, Liam Gurumauka, and thanks indeed, and best of luck. I just want to go back and thanks David as well, and regards to your parents. Is Vera there? You say this lady, this very attractive 33, you say.
Yes,
lady.
very respectable, Joe.
Where did you meet her?
I met her